hard to work around having a whole boat. I think we're also going to try to maybe put this thing in the pool, make sure it doesn't have any major holes in it before we continue with this project, because
it's easy to fix.
Yeah, while we have access to everything here, we don't want to get it all together and then it just sink on us right away.
It's kind of questionable. They've got like fiberglass laid in the bottom of this thing.
Yeah, there's some fiberglass patches over the aluminum, like on that side. Stuff's chipping away. All I can say, guys, is this was the cheapest airboat on Marketplace for a reason. So it's what we're rolling with here.
This thing is definitely just proof of concept.
Yep.
Once it works great, we'll upgrade. But for now, she's gonna ride.
You want to just rest it on the edge. I can kind of solid on your side. What you think, Larry? We're fixing up your airboat. So we just got the rigging out of there. It was a little bit of a fight because it was pretty bound up on these two stringers. Just got a couple pry bars back there, popped her off. Now that guy's sitting over there. Should we get the fan cage off too?
Whole cage out of here.
Yep, see if she floats.
Holes.
Hab einen! Wechsel.
Fix this guy.
Wir haben die Führung verloren.
Honestly, not bad.
Oh my god. You're gonna hit them! Heilige Scheiße!
Der Feind liegt in Führung.
Nice camping, bro.
Here.
Wir liegen in Führung.
Things up and seeing what we need to do to get our K-24 up into this thing.
Der Feind hat Aerosolbomben gestartet.
K-24A right here. This thing has been sitting for a long time here in the shop because I actually got this airboat months after I arrived here, and this thing was supposed to happen long before we even got the jet boat. But we had some delays, and that was due to some custom parts we were waiting on for this K-24 here. And that brings us to what is in this box right here.
Feindlicher Marschflug
This
auf
is the reason why
Feindliche Drohne im
you guys
Einsatzgebiet.
hiding. So yeah, we had it sitting back there, and it was
Verbündeter Marschflugkörper nähert sich dem Ziel.
lost in shipping, and it took a while for the guy to make another batch of them, and it sent me back a little over a year. But
I'm pretty sure we placed the order a week after I moved down
Konnte ich
here.
dir nicht durchgehen
And that's
lassen.
2 years ago now.
yeah, I ordered this so long ago. I was so pumped on doing the A-Swap airboat, and it just ended up taking freaking forever. But we're here now, and we finally have just about everything we need, depending on if this boat will float or not, to make it happen. So what we have in this box right here, boys,
Muss das
is
Magazin
a custom
wechseln!
belt reduction drive, specific
Linke Hände online.
AK series that is designed to spin a big old airboat prop.
Them freaking workout's been paying off, buddy.
Not
Not a light
A lot of it is
Hab was
I think it's
abgekriegt.
actually all cast aluminum, and then it looks like it's been machined. But yeah, this thing is really cool. It came all the way from Russia, so it took it a while to get here.
Motherland.
Yep, the motherland. And yeah, they built this thing pretty beefy, so pretty sweet. Works here. So on the back of this, we got a custom flywheel. This is the same outer diameter K-series flywheel, the K-series starter, all that good stuff. We'll do the K-series crankshaft, And then we have basically a drive shaft coupler inside of there, so it has some dampening to it. This isn't hard mounted, so it takes out a whole bunch of vibrations. So it bolts to the crankshaft, and then it bolts to the coupler. And then that guy goes to this gear right here, which then spins this with this big old belt we got on there. And this is a 2.75 reduction drive. So for every 2.75 rotations the crankshaft makes on the K-Series, this spins one time. That's important because when you go to put a airboat prop on this thing, you can colors at a certain speed, or else this centrifugal force will explode and stuff that's not good. So when this engine is at 8,000 RPM, it's spinning the propeller at 3,000 RPM. There are other reduction ratios we can get, but that's what we went with, and we're going to try it out there. It's going to have enough power. The guy that I was talking to in Russia, there was a little bit of a language barrier, but he did speak water on the K-Series. But granted, I don't know the weight of their boats and anything like that. But I figured, send me one of those units, we'll slap an airboat prop on there, we'll find a crappy airboat down here, and see what happens. So that's what we did. And now that we got the rigging off of the airboat, we got in the top here to make it easy. Use the lift to up and see if we can't make it sit right here. We also don't have a prop yet. That's something else we have to figure out. We do have some airboat shops that we've been talking to just to try to figure it out. But other than figuring out the prop and exactly where the engine should go, it looks like this should go together pretty easily. All you gotta do is get the engine mounted, get the fuel cell on there, just run it as if it's on an engine stand, and then hook up the throttle to it. So yeah, this is the first for us. We're gonna airboat, and we actually have these mounts right here that Hasbro sent me a while back, and these are 2000 K-swap mounts. We're gonna possibly repurpose these airboat here because these are on the side of the K-Series. Don't know how to figure out the whole figure. It has a V8 in it, so I can't officially say we are K-swapping the airboat because it's different engines, and now we're swapping in the K. So today is K-swapping. We just got the flywheel out of there. Drive shaft coupler, and then this guy there, here. So we have to take this stuff off so we can get this flywheel all bolted up to the K-Series. I found the hard one. It took me a while to find that stuff. I haven't touched any of this in quite some time. Alright guys, we got the belt drive all assembled on the K-Series. We went ahead and put it on the lift. We got it kind of mocked up here in the rigging. Dude, this thing is looking freaking sweet. And I don't know what the odds of this are. It's looking like we might have to drop it down a little bit, but this is the no modifications. Look at this. It already had the right size gap right here for the mount to slide over the same mount that was on there. And actually lined it up pretty good. On this side though, definitely not going to fit. Definitely need more room over there, but we were talking about possibly drilling a hole in this guy to scoot it over, but like I said, this thing might need to come down overall. Anyways, right now we are trying to figure out what we need to do for a prop, so we went ahead and got the cage back here. Go ahead, kind of mock that up and see where everything's sitting, take some measurements, and go from there. Alright guys, we got the cage back on there. This is looking so freaking cool. Got off the phone with the airboat people and found out that we are probably going to lower the engine. That we found out regardless, because you know we were thinking these S2000 mounts would just happen to be perfect, but they're not. So we are going to have to drop this thing probably a good 5 or 6 inches. And after we got off the phone with some airboat people with the amount of power we're going to try to run on this thing eventually, so we told them somewhere around 300 horsepower, nothing too crazy. We'll probably be running somewhere in the range of a 70 to 74 inch prop, because that is what our cage limits us to. And there can change the pitch and the number of blades, all that kind of stuff. If it can just cruise around and have enough power to like go out and have a good time, that's all we want. It doesn't need to be a race boat. It is pretty unique in of itself.
Far from a race boat. So.
Yeah, it is very far.
Yep.
You guys saw the chassis we're working with here. She ain't the cleanest. But we're gonna go ahead and cut these guys down so we can drop the motor down a few inches and get the prop set in the cage there where it is, and just kind of go from there. All right, guys, so the engine is about where we need it to be. I had to end up cutting some more off of the rigging right here to drop the engine back down some, but I'm pretty happy with this. So similar to how we got the engine all mocked up in the jet boat, I just took some ratchet straps and kind of tweaked this around, get it upright, get it where we want it to be, make sure it's not twisted. So we got a couple ratchet straps on there holding her in position, and height-wise, we are looking pretty good. From both ends of the cage, and we got the engine centered in the cage here, and then I did have to bring it down a couple more inches than we thought, but it's looking really good now. We took measurements to fit a 70-point blade, probably as big as we could get inside of this cage here, but yeah, everything is looking good. We went ahead and made this gear upright with this one, so the engine is sitting perfectly straight up and down. It doesn't have the natural K-series tilt to it, but that shouldn't be an issue. Just put an extra bit of oil on this thing. The mounts off of these guys a lot easier to work with now that those are flat and not at an angle. That is about where it's all going to sit, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and start building up this side, try to get the engine on its own. You can see how close the crank pulley gets down there, but everything clears. And this guy back some, and I'm going to take this 1-inch tube right here. We're gonna weld that guy in place. There, but you know, the MIG welder will fill that right up. It's not like the rest of the boat is a masterpiece here, so that will get welded into place. That can tie into that guy right there. We'll build a mount off of that to go to the existing mount right here, and we'll probably also add another bar right here just to have some added support. I was thinking about running this all the way back to here, but we'll just add a extra one for support there, and that should be good to go. And then we were also talking about adding a front mount as well if needed, if the motor tries to tilt forward and back at all. But that is where we are sitting for right now, guys. So we're gonna go ahead and MIG this guy in. And start building the mount for this side, and then we'll have to move on to the other side. It's a little more complicated because the mount doesn't line up as easily, but we'll make something work. So that's what that side's looking like right now. We still have to cut that down as well and then make something work out of that mount. So to make the mount,
this prop after it's been ran on the machine. So we used to hand do it. Saves us a lot of time now.
but the machine's a lot nicer than
A
doing it
lot
by
nicer.
hand. And before I went there, we had no idea what we had. So I brought this flange with me and walked in the back, and they had some plates that went right onto it. They were the right bolt pattern and everything. And when I showed him what our neighbor gave us, he's like, yeah, that stuff's super old. It's like 20-year-old propeller that they did a long time ago. He's like, we got something way better for you guys. So long story short, we got ourselves a new blade for the airboat, and I'm about to go pick it up right now, and I'm super pumped. All right, guys, I just pulled up here at Cincinnati Propellers in the NSX to pick up our prop for the airboat. I just got the transmission back together for this thing recently, as you guys saw, and this is actually the first test drive on the sequential. She is running beautifully. It's about a 20-minute drive. And we are here picking up a propeller for our K-Swap airboat in our K-Swap. How's it going, man? Barry over here at Cincinnati Propellers, and you're the one that came up and recognized me right when I walked into this place.
Watch you all the time. I was watching a video before you came up just now.
Oh, hell yeah.
On the jet boat.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to get a little tour of the place, if we could do a brief overview. So you guys do propellers for a lot of aircraft as well, not just airboats.
We do for light sport aircraft, the old biplanes, we make wood props, UAVs for unmanned air vehicles for the military. We do all kinds of stuff.
So that's kind of where they start off.
Yes. So he starts off taking that big bomber, and he'll go through and pick stuff out, and then he'll put panels together, and put it in a clamp carrier, and that thing is a beast right there. We didn't have the air before, and you have to use the pull on it. I pulled so hard on it one time trying to get it, it was so full, I snapped one of those things out and fell on my back. It was not good. And when you get them blues, coming out on the dance hall. For the most part, that'll be a panel. I mean, some of that stuff like that's okay because it's going to get cut out. They can plane down to a certain thickness, and then old school.
So they just glue all the layers together and let it dry.
And when it comes apart, it'll look like this basically. So that's been ran on the machine. So, and guys over there will actually use smoke shavers and smoke shave them down, get the angles in, the actual template, flat side, get the actual airfoil. Especially if it's like a certified prop for the FAA, it has to be every spec on that seat in that tolerance.
Has to be perfect.
And that's, it's a lot. Guys have been doing it for 20 plus years, most of it. I've been here for 27, so all these little props over here are all for the military.
How many blades are on a drone?
One.
Oh, so
It's one prop in the rear. They launch them off of aircraft carriers and they catch them.
Are they kind of like
on
the
aircraft carriers.
yeah, they're the Delta Wing style drones where it's like a single wing prop in the back.
And then so they every time they catch the plane, they break a prop.
Oh,
Which
right,
is
but
good.
then-
Wechsle das Magazin. Hinter dir.
Unsere Drohne umkreist das Gebiet. Verbündete Drohne im Einsatz.
Der ist erledigt.
Verbündete Drohne online. Feindliche Drohne über uns. Verbündete Vorräte im Einsatz. Verbündeter Marschflugkörper im Anflug. Verbündete Drohne im Einsatz. Feindliche Konterdrohne aktiv.
Das ist Semtex.
Molotow genommen, Magazinwechsel!
Verlieren an Boden. Feindliche Drohne aktiv.
Granate. Schockstab geworfen. Ich gebe dir Deckung.
Und das Magazin wechseln!
Hättest meinen Freund nicht töten sollen. Mehrere Feinde gesichtet.
For business.
Yeah,
Mission
good for you guys.
gescheitert.
Yeah.
Zurückzuwarten.
So that's why we have so many because they don't last.
All their CNC machines back here. Cutting away. What's in here?
That's the paint booth. So they're painting wood props. And here he's painting them right now. He's getting them ready to go.
There's gonna be. All right, guys. The propeller.